Tonight on CTV News at 6, a preemptive protest.
The UCP is basically cutting the courts out of the equation.
A UCP government bill not yet tabled the target.
We're going to use every single legal and constitutional tool that we have to protect our children.
Confidence vote. Are Canadians heading to another federal election? And behind the scenes at Rogers Place.
And this is where all the celebrities, when they come to town, Katy Perry, Brad Paisley, this is where they get ready before a big concert.
Mild temperatures through the rest of this week, but we do have some snow in the forecast for tomorrow afternoon.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. We start with breaking news. It was make or break for Mark Carney's government today. Less than an hour ago, the Liberal minority managed to get the votes it needed to pass the federal budget and avoid an early election.
Nays pour 170, 170. Nays contre 168, 170.
It was a narrow confidence vote. Green leader Elizabeth May supported the budget. 4 other opposition MPs abstained, 2 New Democrats and 2 Conservatives, including Edmonton MP Matt Genru and rural Alberta Member of Parliament Shannon Stubbs. The Liberals are 2 seats shy of the majority they need to pass the budget on their own. Had the vote failed, Canadians would have been sent back to the polls just months after electing this government in April. The Alberta Federation of Labour, alongside advocates for transgender people, say they believe the province is planning to once again invoke the notwithstanding clause. This time, they say, it will be used for a bill that impacts children. CTV's Brendan Purdy joins us now in studio. Brendan, this is tied to Bill 9, which hasn't been tabled yet. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Jeff, not a whole heck of a lot. The legislature's public order paper indicates that Bill 9 is scheduled to be tabled this week by Justice Minister Mickey Amery. It's titled the Protecting Alberta's Children Statutes and Amendment Act. People speaking outside the legislature today believe some of the language in the bill will infringe on the rights of trans youth. They also believe it could be enacted using the notwithstanding clause. The province used that same clause just a few weeks ago to force teachers back into classrooms after a 3-week strike. In September, the Canadian press obtained an internal provincial memo showing Premier Danielle Smith directing officials to invoke the Charter's notwithstanding clause to amend 3 laws that affect transgender people.
By using the notwithstanding clause, the UCP is basically cutting the courts out of the equation, and that's cutting a big part of our democracy out of the equation. And so for that reason, you know, everyone should be concerned. This is clearly not just about trans kids. They used the notwithstanding clause against workers and teachers just a couple of weeks ago. That's why we're here, because if they're going to use it against workers, if they're going to use it against vulnerable groups like trans kids, who's next?
Minister Amery says Bill 9 will help vulnerable children and teens.
We're going to use every single legal and constitutional tool that we have to protect our children. We look at this from the lens of our children, what harm they might suffer, they might stand to suffer. We'll take every step available to make sure that they're well protected.
2 laws are currently in effect. One involves the use of pronouns in schools, while the other bans trans athletes 12 and older from competing in female leagues. The province's other law, prohibiting doctors from providing gender-affirming treatment for trans people under 16, is currently before the court. Now we expect to hear more about Bill 9 later this week. Jeff?
All right, Brendan, thank you. A group aiming to recall dozens of UCP MLAs says more of its applications have been approved. Operation Total Recall is currently collecting signatures to recall Education Minister Demetrios Nicolaides and Airdrie East MLA Angela Pitt. The group's website now lists approvals for 10 other MLAs, including Cabinet Ministers Rajan Sawhney, Dale Nally, Miles McDougall, and Speaker Rick McIver. We reached out to every minister on that list. In response, the UCP caucus sent us a statement saying the recall process should not be used to overturn democratic elections just because an individual disagrees with government policy. Elections Alberta says confirmation of approved recall applications will be published on its website following the required timelines. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees seems to be holding off on a strike of the healthcare workers it represents. Separately, the Health Sciences Association of Alberta has endorsed a new deal for its members. The HSAA says after formal mediation last week, the mediator made a recommendation. Its board of directors is unanimously endorsing the recommendation. An electronic ratification vote starts Thursday and will run through next Tuesday. The HSAA had floated the idea of a strike vote if a deal was not reached. Meantime, the AUPE was expecting Alberta Health Services to present a new offer over the weekend. The AUPE says it has nothing to share about that yet. The union president said last week if a deal was not reached by today, members were ready to take job action. People living in southwest Edmonton will bring their concerns about traffic in their neighborhood to city councillors and the mayor tonight. A town hall on the issue gets underway in less than 30 minutes. CTV's Evan Kenny joins us now from where the meeting is being held. Evan, what's led to tonight's town hall?
Jeff, people here say that they've reached out to the city in every way possible about traffic in the area for years, including multiple complaints about the intersection at Edgemont Way and Edgemont Boulevard. Now, that's where 3 months ago, a 65-year-old woman was hit by a pickup truck and killed while crossing at that intersection. That woman was walking with her grandson crossing Edgemont Way when she was hit by a truck turning left. One police officer told us he pulls over 10 cars on average here daily for a number of reasons, including speed and stop sign violations. The city is using the EPS investigation into this collision to complete a safety review of the intersection. Before the crash, the city added enhanced pavement markings in 2024 in an attempt to improve safety. The area's councillor says it's important for her to hear from the people who are affected.
This is my week 3 on the job, and so it's an amazing opportunity to start and listen from scratch, right, and not going in with any assumptions of what has been done in the past. We're always willing to look at new evidence, new things that come to fruition.
Councillor Tu Parmar and Mayor Andrew Knack will be in attendance tonight. Now, people we've spoken to hope the city will install speed bumps or traffic lights at that intersection. The town hall runs here from 6:30 until 8:30. Jeff?
All right, Evan, thank you. That's Evan Kenny live for us tonight. A woman is dead after she was hit by a vehicle while walking her dog on the weekend in northeast Edmonton. Police say the 58-year-old woman was rushed to hospital where she died from her injuries. She was in a marked crosswalk on 153rd Ave when she was hit just before 9 a.m. Saturday. Officers say a 36-year-old woman was turning left onto 153rd Ave from 82nd Street when she hit the pedestrian. Police say the dog ran away but was found unharmed and returned home. The driver stayed at the scene of the collision and was not injured. Speed and alcohol are not believed to be factors. This is the 30th traffic death in Edmonton this year. Work will soon begin on another bridge in Edmonton. The city says construction on the Dawson Bridge in Riverdale will cause minimal interruption, but critics of local businesses say it's another obstacle for those trying to get downtown. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
We think that Edmonton really loves the little brick.
Jenny McAllister is a partner with River Valley Company that owns several Riverdale businesses, Dog Patch, Bread and Butter, and their first venture, Little Brick.
Our hope is that we can service all of Edmonton, and some people have to drive a little bit to get here, and other people can walk down the street.
Driving to Little Brick will soon get a little more complicated. The 113-year-old Dawson Bridge that connects Riverdale to Forest Heights will soon be undergoing a refurbishment that the city says will extend the life of the bridge for years to come. McAllister can appreciate the need to keep bridges functioning, but says it won't help people get to Riverdale.
Anything that makes it a little bit more challenging for people to get here is challenging for us.
Area Councillor Ann Stevenson says city staff has worked to avoid a full closure amid the number of other construction projects around the city.
Moving forward, I think it's going to be very important that we continue to fund this work really consistently so that we don't have this pileup of deferred maintenance.
The city says starting the week of November 24th, construction crews will use a barge system on the North Saskatchewan River for the first months of the project. The city says traffic won't be impacted until early 2026, when the bridge will undergo temporary single-lane alternating closures for about a month. Downtown Revitalization Coalition Executive Committee member Cheryl Watson says even a month of partial closures won't help the crush getting in and out of the downtown core.
Better proactive planning so that you don't have so many dependent routes that are all impacted at once, and they are open to that. So we're looking forward to future improvements, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
Back at Little Brick, McAllister says she's hopeful the bridge work won't deter longtime customers from visiting.
We really hope and trust that Edmonton loves their local businesses and will put in a little bit of extra effort to get here.
The city says it will share details about when the lane closures will start by early next year. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
After cleaning up Rogers Place, the Oilers Entertainment Group says the PBR Bulls will return for another year.
It's Moonwalk from Dawson Rodeo. Let's go!
The Professional Bull Riders Canada National Finals will buck back into Edmonton November 13th and 14th. This past weekend, Saskatchewan's Jared Parsonage was crowned the 2025 PBR Canada champion with 4 perfect rides. PBR Canada says more than 17,000 people attended the 2-day finals. Tickets for next year's PBR return go on sale this Friday.
Roll on my Segway. I know in my heart they think I'm wide and nerdy. Just too wide and nerdy.
Weird Al Yankovic will bring his musical parodies to Rogers Place next year. His bigger and weirder tour will stop at Edmonton September 1st. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10. Josh, a little cooler out there today.
8 degrees for a high yesterday. Yeah, it was a spectacular end of the weekend. Today, we thought we'd get to about 3 or 4. Only got to 1 for a daytime high. And we'll be around the freezing mark, it looks like, again tomorrow for a daytime high. It is going to warm up, it looks like, towards the end of this week. We're back a handful of degrees above zero for Friday, Saturday. But tomorrow should be another average day for temperatures. -2 off to the east and northeast of the city. It's -1 at the airports off to the north and south. Stony Plain hit 2 degrees today. It's 1 there right now. And it's our daytime high. You can see the average high now for this week is 0. So pretty close to average, despite the fact it was a lot cooler than yesterday. -5 this morning was 3 degrees warmer than average. I think we'll be in that -7, -8 range, though, tomorrow morning. We've had some rain in southern parts of the province. Here in Edmonton, some pretty thick, soupy fog over southern parts of the Edmonton region and just south of the city. Fog advisories were ended earlier this afternoon, but the clouds have now replaced that. And those clouds may break a little bit at times this evening, but for the most part, mostly cloudy skies. And through the day tomorrow, it'll be overcast. Light wind, -7 in the morning, up to about 0 in the afternoon. There's your snow. The morning commute will be fine. The drive home tomorrow probably has some snow coming down. And there could actually be some accumulation on the ground by tomorrow evening. We'll talk more about that and the rest of your forecast in a couple minutes.
All right. Thank you, Josh. From the Tower Bridge in England to the Taj Mahal in India, a local senior is bringing international landmarks to life in his basement. As Nariman Issa reports, his next landmark project is one closer to home.
Esmond Warren prepares a piece of wood before heading to his workbench.
Here again, you see, you build this one piece flat.
What started off as a project to keep him busy has turned into a passion.
Our daughter brought me the first kit as a Christmas present. I thought, good grief. Yeah, I was not too impressed with it at the start, but once I got into it, I really enjoyed it.
Warren recreates landmarks using small matchstick-sized wood pieces. His projects include the Tower Bridge in London, India's Taj Mahal, and the Notre Dame Cathedral of Paris. A special project in honor of his granddaughter, who died of complications of cystic fibrosis.
When she passed away, she left me with the instructions that I should finish it for her. So I was very proud to be able to do that.
Not all are famous landmarks.
This was the dairy barn, and there's the silo over there.
This is a replica of their family farm in New Sarepta, with one important detail.
Our son came here one day and saw it and said, well, where's Mum? Because Mum always cut the grass. So then I had to go and make a little tractor and put her on it.
Esmond's next project is the Alberta legislature.
that one isn't made with matchsticks. I cut the wood for that one, and I'm building that one from scratch. No blueprints.
The 87-year-old says each project takes 200+ hours to finish.
She kind of rolls her eyes when I go down to the man cave. And I say, well, it won't be long. And of course, she says I'm twice as long as I said I was going to be.
This hobby may be time-consuming. However,
I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't enjoying it.
A labor of love, one landmark at a time. Nair Misa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, experiencing Rogers Place in a new way.
Behind-the-scenes experience that takes fans into areas you wouldn't normally get to see on a game day or concert day.
We'll show you what stops are included in new public tours. Also ahead.
To open up doors to communication and curiosity, and a way to really make them feel like they belong here.
How local students are celebrating diversity.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
People are getting a chance to see parts of Rogers Place not normally accessible to the public. Public tours are now being offered. CTV's Amanda Anderson goes behind the scenes.
Now in its 10th season of operation, Rogers Place is opening its gates to the public, offering tours of the home of the Oilers.
We have a 90-minute behind-the-scenes experience that takes fans into areas you wouldn't normally get to see on a game day or concert day.
People will get a chance to see the Oilers Hall of Fame room filled with memorabilia and the spot the team does post-game interviews. They'll also head high above the rink to see the view from the press box.
We're going to head into the star dressing rooms right now, and so, like I mentioned, this is where all the celebrities, when they come to town, Katy Perry, Brad Paisley, this is where they get ready before a big concert. You know, there's really something for everyone, regardless if you're a hockey fan or if you just want to see how a world-class arena works.
This tunnel leads to another highlight on the tour, the Oilers dressing room, but you can't go inside.
It's pretty rare that we don't have somebody in the Oilers dressing room, whether that's players or coaches. So at this time, to keep the tours readily available throughout the month, we have held back on the dressing room. You know, it could be something we include in the future.
Fans do get to see the visitors' dressing room, then walk the same path to the ice as the players.
Takes us out to the players' bench.
Yeah, exactly. So just up and to our right is where the players' bench typically is. We are setting up for Disney on Ice, so we have the bench taken out. The experience from going from the Oilers door, walking out the players' tunnel to the players' bench, because that's something you see on TV, but it's never something you can experience firsthand. So I think for a lot of people, that's been quite like a memorable moment for them.
The Classic Tour costs $20 for youth and $30 for adults. There are also private VIP tours available.
Like, you go to a concert, you walk around, you see it, but we need to see kind of what's behind the scenes. So could be neat, yeah.
Tours won't happen on game days or when there's an event happening. Available dates can be found on the Rogers Place website. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
The junior high school put the books down today for a celebration of diversity and inclusion. Culture Day at St. Hilda Catholic Junior High School. 17 different cultures were featured in its celebration. Students enjoyed different foods and performances, learning and appreciating the different cultures that fill the school.
This is an opportunity to showcase their cultures and to celebrate it, and to open up doors to communication and curiosity, and a way to really make them feel like they belong here more than just part of the school, but actually as a part of a family that have a very diverse range of cultures.
12 dishes were offered along with student performances highlighting the Philippines, Newfoundland, and Armenia. A barbecue business in Sherwood Park brought plenty of local flavor to an international competition. The owners of You Need a Barbecue took home a blue ribbon at the American Royal World Series of Barbecue in Kansas earlier this month. They won the top prize in the potato category for their warm potato salad made with their signature seasoning and Nisku-based Little Potato Company potatoes. They say it's exciting to bring Edmonton area products to a world stage.
It's an honor to represent Canada at every competition that we go to, but to bring home the victory for Canada, for Edmonton, was pretty cool.
And it's just a huge, big rush, and then you're just like, you can't believe it, and then there was a lot of yelling and screaming and crying and everything, and then we finally went up.
You can find the award-winning potato salad recipe in the story on our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, making snow on the slopes.
We're always investing in new technology for snowmaking so that we can make more snow at warmer temperatures.
When skiers and boarders can get their fill of winter fun here in Edmonton, and
Santa skates all the time and then we have fun.
Santa skates into town.
A little bit of snow on the way for tomorrow afternoon. Probably is not going to amount to all that much, though, and might actually melt by the end of the week as things warm up again for Friday, Saturday. Full 5 and 10-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by Boston Pizza's 5 Days of Pizza for Ben, supporting the Ben Stelter Foundation.
Ski hills around Edmonton are working hard to get their runs ready while enduring above-average November temperatures. Skate Squarn has more on all the preparations and when skiers can expect to hit the slopes.
The snow machines at Rabbit Hill Ski Resort have been blowing snow throughout the evenings and into the mornings. Work well underway to get the hills ready for opening.
You know, you're talking 6 to 8 weeks of actual snowmaking to get us open.
But the long process has had to work around warm days, which has been the norm the last few years.
If you look at recent history, I mean, 4 of the last 5 Novembers have started exactly like this November for temperatures. So this isn't really all that unusual.
And Rabbit Hill co-owner Derek Look says the weather just adds to the difficulty.
We're usually running and then we shut down and then we run again. So, you know, we're always investing in new technology for snowmaking so that we can make more snow at warmer temperatures. If we could see those, you know, evening temperatures of -15, that would be amazing.
The hill uses fan guns and air water sticks to blanket the hill. Look says it takes 40 to 50 million gallons of water to cover every run. That's roughly 150 to 190 million liters. Despite the warmer days, the hill continues to get its share of man-made snowfall.
I truly believe this will be kind of the norm moving forward, so we need to make sure we're keeping up with that.
Even though November has been above average, there is good news for skiers and snowboarders on the horizon.
You get to December 1st, 90% of the time there's snow on the ground that stays for the winter. So somewhere in the next couple of weeks, I would expect some snow.
But the work continues for Look and his team.
We'll see how the next week goes, and that will tell us a lot of what we can open and when.
Aiming for an end of November opening. Gates Squarn, CTV News, Edmonton.
All right, you were there. Now you're here. How do you do that?
Oh, it's the magic of television, really. It was also bright outside at that point, and not so much now. But we'll get to Skycam in a second. First, it was foggy this morning, right?
Was, yep.
You know how I know that? Because I drove out to Leduc, where the fog was, man, it was thick. But the kids were fantastic. Hello to the grade 5s at Caledonia Park in Leduc. Great group of grade 5 students out there. There's what it looks like outside right now. Dark as you look through the Action Furnace, River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace fixed right over it's free. We're at 0 right now. We've basically held steady at around 0 pretty much all day today. Briefly, we got to 0.6 for a daytime high, so we'll round that up to 1. 1 in Cold Lake, it was 2 in Fort McMurray, -1 in Grand Prairie, and 7 to the south in Red Deer. You've got some showers here still coming down in southeastern parts of the province with this first area of low pressure. This one sliding to the south. The next one is mainly going to be south of us as well, but it will likely push at least some snow, either flurries or some light accumulations in towards the Edmonton area tomorrow. Right around supper time looks like the most likely time frame. There's your cloudy skies tomorrow morning. Snow already starting in through western areas. In the pink zones here, you get a chance of some patchy freezing rain in and around the Calgary region tomorrow, so we'll keep an eye on that. Around Edmonton, this is all going to be snow. Doesn't look like there's going to be a freezing rain risk. So mid-afternoon, starting to roll in to the areas just off to the west and southwest of the city. Watch how most of this snow, though, First it's southwest, then it's off to the south, and then later on into the evening, it'll be to the east. So we're really kind of on the edge of this, which makes forecasting how much snow is going to stick around on the ground a little difficult. I think there are parts of the city, though, especially southern parts of the Edmonton region, that could pick up 2 or 3 centimeters of snow. You might see as much as 5 centimeters for some areas off to the south of the Edmonton region. And then by mid-evening, starts to clear off to the east, and then the clouds move out for Wednesday. So we're back under some sunshine for Wednesday afternoon. It'll take a day or two before temperatures jump back into the 4 or 5 degree range. I think by Friday, Saturday, we're back to that territory. -1 in Fort McMurray. It's -6 in Grand Prairie right now. We're at the freezing mark here in Edmonton, and 2 still in Red Deer after a high of 7 earlier this afternoon. Temperatures down to about -7 here in the city. You may see a few breaks in the cloud cover early this evening, then overcast through the day tomorrow. And by late afternoon and into the early evening hours, we get that chance of flurries or light snow with the potential that there's a little bit of accumulation on the ground by late Tuesday night. Back to about 2 on Wednesday with some sunshine, 2 degrees on Thursday with some increasing cloud in the afternoon. And then for Friday, 5 and partly cloudy. Saturday, still in that 4 or 5 degree range, but could see some flurries late in the day. Next week, if you were watching last week, we were kind of pointing out that the 24th, 25th looks like a turning point. That still appears to be the case. So ski hills and man-made snowmakers, they're going to want temperatures in that -10 to 15 range in the morning. You're finally going to get that. And daytime highs next week should drop into the -5 to -10 range.
Thanks, Josh. Duchess Bake Shop debuted its most ambitious gingerbread creation yet at the All Is Bright Festival over the weekend. This is Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel made out of 100% edible gingerbread. It's part of a fundraiser with iHuman Youth Society to collect warm clothing donations for at-risk youth who are struggling this winter. People can drop off items and enter a raffle. They'll have a chance to win a demolition party where they can destroy the Gingerbread Hotel with a wrecking ball. Donations can be dropped off until December 31st. Santa Claus has come to town, and Edmontonians can now visit him at West Edmonton Mall. Kicked off the festive season at West Ed with a skate at the Ice Palace this weekend. Anna and Elsa from Frozen and the Grinch also joined in. Santa wore a special hockey sweater just for the occasion. He says he's been skating all year at the North Pole in preparation.
We always get ice up in the North Pole. We have nothing but ice up there, so Santa skates all the time and we have fun. We got our whole team right behind us, but that's Santa's hockey team, and we're rooting for the Oilers, and we hope the Oilers can bring home a Stanley Cup, and Connor McDavid can get a special gift from Santa this year.
You can get photos with Mr. and Mrs. Claus and their elves at North Pole Place until December the 24th. Still ahead, preparing for the potential end of decades of peace.
I have to open up for the neighbors, and everyone are allowed to come in here.
NATO countries in Northern Europe take steps against a Russian threat, and
this really highlights that we aren't making the progress that we had seen before.
Progress in the fight to eliminate cervical cancer stalled. Stay with us.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. Build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Canada is preparing for a royal visit from Sweden this week. While talk of whether fighter jets made in the Nordic country will join Canada's military ranks has loomed large over the event, another aspect of Sweden's defense strategy has gained momentum in recent months: total defense. CTV's Jean-Vier Beauchemin reports from Stockholm.
Every Swede says the government has a role in case of attack or crisis.
This is the shelter room.
Nicholas Ivert's task is to convert the storage space attached to his home into a bomb shelter.
This is all the material which was originally provided by the Swedish state.
Ivert bought this home 3 years ago. Ventilation equipment, airlock, big iron doors included. It was outfitted during the Cold War.
Here you can see a map of all the shelters.
It's one of more than 64,000 shelters in Sweden.
I have to open up for the neighbors, and everyone are allowed to come in here.
Ivert once contacted authorities to see whether it would be possible to decommission the space, turn it into a small apartment.
If you would have asked 20 years ago, maybe, or 10 years ago, but nowadays, there's no chance.
The government says escalating geopolitical tensions, the invasion of Ukraine, have changed the world. Enlisting all citizens to prepare, even if it's only to pack an emergency kit, is part of a concept called total defense that the country's defense minister says is key.
We're not going to get the bang for the buck on the defense investment if we don't have strong and resilient societies.
Canada's Cold War-era shelters have largely been destroyed, abandoned, or turned into museums.
Automatically close in case of an explosion on the outside.
In Sweden, public shelters neglected in peacetime are now getting an overhaul.
Inside there are the power unit.
This one, built in the 1950s, that doubles as a parking garage, has been upgraded to provide shelter to 1,200 people.
We have a warning system with air raid shelters, air raid alarm, and so on. And the air raid shelters is the physical way to protect the population.
Louise Ribbing's love of animals has led her to volunteer at the Royal Stables, riding one of the King of Sweden's horses for exercise.
She's kind of frisky, yeah.
But she also joined an organization called Blue Star, originally created to protect animals like cows key to the food chain during wartime. It now extends to caring for pets in times of crisis.
It's something that I can help with in the event that the society needs me, and my country needs me.
Now, everyone here, of course, hopes this will never have to be deployed. But being prepared is key to military planning, they say. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Stockholm.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he has struck a deal with France to buy up to 100 fighter jets to help bolster his country's long-term defense. Zelensky is meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron, while Russian drone and missile attacks on Ukrainian cities have increased in recent weeks, and with Moscow reportedly gaining ground in Ukraine's southeast. A key railway line that delivers aid to Ukraine was destroyed in what Poland's prime minister calls an unprecedented act of sabotage. An explosive device blew up a portion of the track yesterday, with more damage discovered down the line. The blast did not cause any injuries, but is the latest in a string of incidents that has Europe on high alert. Several countries have reported incursions into their airspace, with most blaming Russia. However, the Kremlin denies any involvement. After more than 2 decades of progress, cervical cancer rates are no longer declining, and the Canadian Cancer Society warns the country may not reach its goal of eliminating cervical cancer by 2040. CTV's Sarah Plowman has the details.
Every day, hundreds of Canadians hear those dreaded words. You have cancer. For Linda Wu, that moment happened 35 years ago when she saw a doctor for her pregnancy and learned she had cervical cancer.
If I hadn't gotten pregnant, I wouldn't have known. I would have been like every other woman who discovered it when it was too late.
A new report shows after a long period of steady decline, cervical cancer rates have plateaued, even though experts say it's preventable.
This really highlights that we aren't making the progress that we had seen before.
For women aged 35 to 55, cervical cancer is actually increasing.
The rates now in 2022 are the same as they were in 1992.
The report's authors point to several factors behind the shift.
Increased transmission of human papillomavirus, or HPV as some people know it, low uptake of the HPV vaccine, lower cervical screening rates.
Dr. Amanda Selk says cervix cancer doctors are noticing more cancer cases, and some are more advanced.
Cervix cancer is a terrible, terrible disease, and if we can prevent it for so many people, if you can just get yourself screened and follow through with treatment. We treat people all the time, and they do really well.
Most cervical cancers are caused by human papillomavirus, HPV. Vaccines are offered in schools, but coverage continues to lag below targets. Screening methods are also changing as provinces move to HPV testing, a move the Canadian Cancer Society wants all governments to follow.
We want to be able to say by 2040, no one will have this cancer in Canada.
The report did show that cancer mortality rates overall have gone down, and mortality rates for lung, colorectal, and bladder cancers have been declining rapidly. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Fredericton.
New research from the University of Alberta suggests women are 3 times more likely to develop long COVID symptoms than men. Tests were carried out on patients who developed long COVID symptoms 1 year after their initial infection. Researchers found higher levels of certain proteins in female patients' blood due to gut damage. They say these proteins may drive chronic inflammation, a contributor to long COVID.
Probably at the earliest stage of infection, women are more prone to have gut-associated COVID, because you might have heard that some people, when they get SARS-CoV-2 infection, they have gastrointestinal symptoms.
Research also suggests women had a more rapid immune response to their initial COVID infection than men that could result in tissue damage in the long run. Still ahead, taking aim at elk and deer on fenced-in farms.
It's not hunting, it's shooting fish in a barrel.
My critics say fenced-in hunting poses health risks. Also ahead.
It's like watching, some of those movies that you get to watch where you can't even believe what you're seeing.
A survivor revisits the Swift Current Broncos crash in a new documentary.
Tuesday in your morning, how to save money on holiday gifts by making them yourselves, plus advice to make end of life easier for your family, and the latest pitch from the group behind the River Valley Gondolas.
Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar holding near 71 cents U.S. Oil was down 9 cents, closing the day $59.86 U.S. a barrel. Gold lost nearly $20. The TSX and Dow Jones both ended lower, down 250 points and 557 points. Canada's inflation rate cooled slightly in October, dropping to 2.2% from 2.4% in September. Statistics Canada says cheaper gas prices and groceries helped bring the numbers down. Gas prices fell at a faster rate in October compared to September as fuel retailers switched to cheaper winter blends. Grocery prices fell 0.6% in October, the biggest monthly drop in more than 5 years. Prices for home and auto insurance and cell phone services jumped. Alberta is legalizing fenced-in hunting of farm-raised elk and deer. The plan appears in Bill 10, an omnibus red tape reduction bill introduced today. The legislation removes Alberta's long-standing ban on hunting domestic elk or deer. It will now allow producers to operate what the province calls harvest preserves. These are fenced properties where clients pay to shoot farm-raised animals. The government says the change will bring much-needed new revenue to the struggling game farming industry. The Alberta Wildlife Federation says beyond ethical concerns, the plan could increase the spread of chronic wasting disease.
Because there is only a single fence on these places, there's still interaction between truly wild cervix and the farmed ones. And there's still disease can be transmitted back and forth.
The government maintains preserves would be required to follow rigorous record-keeping of animals and their movements. Fenced-in hunting is already allowed in Saskatchewan and Quebec and in about half of U.S. states. A new documentary is revisiting the Swift Current Broncos crash. Defenseman Bob Wilkie was forever changed by the trauma of that fateful day. After finding healing for himself, he found a way to support others. CTV's Glenn Campbell reports.
December 30th, 1986, the Swift Current Broncos were on their way to Regina to play the Pats. Shortly after leaving town, their bus hit a patch of black ice and crashed. 4 players, Trent Cressy, Scott Kruger, Chris Mantica, and Brent Ruff, tragically died in the accident. Bob Wilkie was a 17-year-old defenseman with the Broncos. He says that day haunted him.
It's like watching some of those movies that you get to watch where you can't even believe what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, what you're hearing. It was overwhelming to the point where the shock in my system just shut it down.
It didn't help that sexual predator Graham James was the Broncos' head coach. Wilkie says he didn't allow the team to talk about the crash or to seek professional help as he was secretly abusing some players.
You know, the unfortunate part of the story is that dark underbelly of Graham and what he was doing to some of my teammates, and how, you know, the support and help to bring somebody in was denied. I know now that there was definitely people offering to come in and help, but it just wasn't going to be allowed.
The silence led to mental health problems. Over the years, Wilkie turned to alcohol to help him cope with the pain. When that didn't help anymore, he had thoughts of giving up.
You know, 24 years old, playing for the Philadelphia Flyers, and that was the first time that I felt like maybe it was time to end it. You know, it was so painful.
But Wilkie chose to live, and that led him to a journey of helping others. He started I Got Mine, the mission to heal together, grow stronger, and change the conversation around mental illness. It also is the reason why it was important to do a documentary. Sideways is a story of trauma, resilience, and healing, turning the tragedy into something positive and hopefully helping others.
I'm really excited about, you know, maybe that one person out there who's all alone and really struggling sees that there's this documentary out there and watches it. To have it out there in the world, yeah, it's a pretty proud moment.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
Still ahead, CFL champions.
And without you guys, this doesn't happen, man. We're champs forever. Let's go!
The fifth time in franchise history, the Saskatchewan Roughriders have won the Grey Cup.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with E-Talk. Programming brought to you by Southview Acura. Experience the elegance of the all-new Acura ADX.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are Grey Cup champions for the first time in 12 years. The win comes as the CFL embarks on some drastic changes in the years to come. CTV's Scott Hurst reports.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are returning home to a hero's welcome today. Their Grey Cup victory in Winnipeg ends a championship drought for the Roughriders, who last won the Grey Cup in 2013. But to give the Montreal Alouettes credit, they made the Saskatchewan players and fans wait until the final play to start celebrating. The Alouettes with a potential chance to tie it on a last-second play to the end zone, but the pass fell incomplete. Grey Cup MVP Roughriders quarterback Trevor Harris with this message for his teammates.
And without you guys, this doesn't happen, man. We're champs forever. Let's go!
All of this happening as the CFL is set to make some significant rule changes over the next 2 years, including a major overhaul to the field of play. Smaller end zones, shorter fields, and moving the goalposts from the goal line to the back of the end zone. The changes are not sitting well with some die-hard fans who argue it's taking away the uniqueness of the Canadian game, while others say the changes are necessary to modernize the CFL and attract a whole new generation of fans. But first, a chance for the province of Saskatchewan to party, as the city of Regina will be hosting the championship parade tomorrow. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
Congratulations to them.
All the Riders fans have come out of the woodwork.
Yeah, and they're happy, and you know what? I'm happy for them.
I haven't seen Brendan Purdy smile this heartily.
I do think he should wear his Rough Riders jersey on air.
Yep.
Yeah.
And congratulations to my mom as well, who was cheering so loud from Lloydminster that I could hear it in St. Albert. -7 tomorrow morning, 0 tomorrow afternoon. We'll start the day with some clouds. Late afternoon into the early evening hours, we've got some snow coming through, anywhere between some flurries to maybe 2 centimeters-ish. Doesn't look like it's going to be a really significant dump of snow in the city. Back above 0 by a couple of degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and then back a handful of degrees above 0 for Friday, Saturday, but a lot colder next week.
All right. Thank you, Josh, and thank you for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great day.